Good morning. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. We're having a great morning already. If you're driving and you're listening, I want to thank you for tuning in. It's Shout Out Saturday. Don't forget, 248-539-9797. Give me your name. If you're a contractor, love to say what up. If you're police, fire, essential worker, county, whatever, shout out to you as well. And of course, if you have a question Google can't answer, hey, give me a shot. Pretty good at that when it comes to home improvement. Yeah, I'm on the home improvement spectrum, in case you wanted to know. Shout out to Ross. He's a new member at the Advanced Plumbing family. What up, Ross? What up, Justin, Josh, all the Mosses? And then Romana Construction. Driveway replacements will give you a great deal. We do all flat work. How much you guys charge a foot? Rip out, sidewalk, replace 4 inches. Tell me what you do. I'm interested. I like to keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on in the industry. Just trying to do that, as you know. So anyways, lots of home improvement to talk about today. And one of the things is you've turned your air conditioning on for the first time. You're trying to beat the heat, but you want it to run efficiently. You don't want extra cost. You don't want it to, like breathe and run out of gas or, run out of energy because it's working so hard. So how do you get your heating cooling system running smoothly to, not have a problem? You got to remember your house doesn't have an odometer. You don't know when to change the oil, change the filters. Doesn't have a light in the kitchen. Oh, ding, ding, ding. Check engine light. Sorry, Charlie. Your odometer is Hire It Done. Remember that. And I'm giving you the extended warranty lifetime now. So let me give you some tips really quick. Replace your air filter regularly on your furnace, right? I really mean that. You know how many people I ask? I always do that. Hey, when's the last time you changed your filter? They look at me like, what you talking about, Willis? I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. It makes a difference. And of course, I still have to follow the idea. If you're listening, tell me if you want to back my idea of scented air filters. Vanilla, chocolate chip, Febreze. I mean, come on now. Isn't that a great idea? And every month you get a new flavor. Pumpkin spice in October. Whoop, whoop. I mean, how cool is that? Maybe a bacon one too. Oh, now I'm getting crazy. Okay, so change your filters, your air filters in your furnace regularly. Now, if you have the 1-inch filter, you really have to replace those monthly. However, it makes a difference. If the filter's plugged, the efficiency of your heating cooling system will drop by 50%. 50. Okay? You don't want that. Now, I would recommend getting a furnace tune-up, air conditioning cleaning, and new filters put in by a professional. And have them put in a 4-inch or a 5-inch filter. The reason why I say that is because you only have to replace those either once a quarter or once a year. Think about that. And that makes sense, right? So, plus it saves you energy. And guess what? Did you know the air inside your house is 5 to 10 times dirtier than the outside air? Can you imagine the schmutz in the skuts inside your house, and it's going and you're sleeping and it's in your nasal cavities and you wake up? Can't say it. But you know what I'm talking about. And no one wants that schmutz in your body. So a clean air conditioner, clean coils, let me tell you, makes all the difference. Now, how about your room vents? Open or close the vents in rooms you don't use, right? Many heating cooling systems heat and cool your house via the vents found in each room. If a room isn't in use for certain seasons, too cold for the attic, or no one goes in their sunroom during the winter, you can close those vents. I'm okay with that. Okay? Some people say, oh, leave them always open. Well, if you have a room that you're heating in the wintertime that you don't use, close the vent, and when the heat goes to that vent, it stops and then backs up, heats other rooms. It works, okay? And what it does is it helps you focus airflow to the rooms you want. 248-539-9797. We'd love to hear from you. Shout out Saturday, of course. Danny McBride from the Roof Resources listening. Thanks, Danny, for tuning in. Of course, Mr. Positive. He's always listening. I see him on CNN, by the way. The guy's calling every radio show in America, I think. Every show in America. Maybe we should do a special on him to talk about people who call radio stations all the time. But it's okay. He's a good guy. I just want everyone to know. So back to heating and cooling maintenance. How about drainages or blockages? Do you know there's a condensation pump? And it always gets plugged. Oh, no, I got a water puddle. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's the drainage. Okay? You got to have it cleaned out. Now, again, back to the furnace tune-up. Heating and cooling. Guess what, friends? That gets handled. You don't understand something. Your house is a big investment. Next to your roof, which we're going to be talking about in a little bit, your heating and cooling. That's like the lungs and the heart. Ba-boom, ba-boom, right? And the breathing. Then you got the plumbing. That's your blood, right? And your roof. It's your hat, your head. I don't have no hair, so what does my roof look like? Maybe it's a flat roof. Maybe it's no shingles. You never know. Okay. Anyways, I digress. So heating and cooling, you got to check things out. What about insulation? How does that affect your in your heating and cooling? Well, check your insulation ahead of the cold months. Like right now, call Dana Insulation. Have them come out to your house. They'll give you an inspection. They'll tell you if you need air conditioning. I mean heating. If you need insulation in your attic, because let me tell you something. Properly insulated attics will keep the heat in the house much longer. We're going to take a quick break, friends. This is Hired Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Coming up next, Audrey Israel, Vice President of everything at the Roof Resource. Keep it locked in. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Don't forget it's Shout Out Saturday, 248-539-9797. Also Salt Sale Saturday. Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions, of course, sells softener salt really inexpensively, $6.99 a bag, 40 pounds. Can't get better than them. I'm going to be honest. You want clean water, and by the way, it's the new thing. Hydrogen, alkaline, all that stuff, right? I want you to know they got you covered. 810-632-2000. Jared Beauchamp from Beauchamp Water Treatment Solutions. He's a stud. He's the king of water, as y'all know. I always take care of him. Ramana Construction just texted me. They're a 1,600 square foot driveway goes for approximately $10 a square foot. That's pretty inexpensive. I was thinking 13 to 15. Less square footage goes up accordingly. Yes, less is more. And they always use fiber, integral sealers, and cure. Yeah, fiber and train is the way to go, right? They've been in business 67 years. 4 generations. Woo! Congratulations to you guys. So, home improvement's busy. It's big. Since COVID, it's even gotten bigger, right? Hiring contractors is not easy. In fact, contractors in the business, there's not a replenishment. Plumbers, electricians, heating, cooling, roofers. Think about it. You got a kid, he's playing video games. He's trying to do an Amazon business at home. And then you're like, no, you got to get outside and get work as a roofer. What? Listen, I spent a huge amount of money on my kid's education. He went to USC. I'd rather right now, and he's not listening, but I'd rather him be a roofer, a plumber, an electrician. Seriously. I'm thinking that because Hollywood? Oy, what a mistake. Anyways, I digress. So your house, again, a roofer, right? Getting on a roof. I don't have a problem getting on a roof, believe it or not. I'll jump right up there. The problem is coming off, getting down off a roof. That's the big issue. So, but hey, at least I admit it. And can you imagine going up a ladder with a bundle of shingles on your shoulder? Oy. Yeah, from the neck down, I'm worth minimum wage. You should all know that by now. 248-539-9797. By the way, we're on Facebook Live. You can check us out in the studio. Go to Hire It Done on Facebook. We've got that going on as well, as we always do every Saturday. Shout out to Grammy. Jeff Schleining from Everdry, great company. Mike Harvey, whoop, whoop. And you know what? Amongst others as well. So in studio, let me introduce our guest. In studio is a good friend of mine. I've known her for a long, long, long time. Her name, Audrey Israel, and she's the vice president of marketing for the Roof Resource. Good morning.
Good morning.
Did I say it right?
Yes, you did.
Good. I just want to make sure, because the sensors and the
right.
What do they call it? Whatever they are, they're watching, listening. It's all good though. So welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Is this the first time you've been live on?
It is. It's the first time I've been on your show.
Ooh.
I know.
Welcome.
Surprising.
Okay, so Audrey, how long have you known me?
Oh, geez. A long time. I want to say 2017 or
no,
something.
No, longer than that.
Really? It might have been.
15, I think it was.
Probably.
CBS.
Yes.
National.
Definitely.
Yeah. Hire It Done was doing a national expansion, and we needed someone sharp to help run that. And, of course, Audrey was great. Still is. So now Audrey is vice president of new business and marketing.
Yes.
What's the official? Say it again.
So I'm the vice president of marketing for the Roof Resource. So I work for the corporate entity and help all the franchisees with their marketing efforts.
Yeah. Well, that's great to know. So tell us, you've been here over a year? Roof Resource?
Yes, officially almost a year, but then unofficially consulted there for about a year before that.
Learned a lot about it.
Learned quite a bit.
Yeah, well, good for you. Of course, you do a fabulous job. So, do you ever think to yourself you'd be working with a roofing company?
No, I worked for all of the major agencies in my career and did a lot of automotive. Glad to not be doing that anymore, but worked with many different clients from, MGM Studios and back when it was Farmer Jack and, roofing.
I love Farmer Jack.
I know. I miss that place.
Yeah. Great Scott.
Yeah.
So you've been doing, so you have a marketing background.
Yes.
That's great.
Definitely.
That's great. So what do you do for like the Roof Resources local? There's franchises. So give me like a Twitter version or an X version of exactly what you do.
Right. So, I work on the marketing for the corporate entities. So like the website, the SEO, the branding, the messaging, and I also help the franchisees execute their marketing.
And so it's all tied together.
It's all tied together.
That's cool. That's what I figured. 248-539-9797. You have a question for Audrey, any marketing questions? You're a contractor. You need marketing advice. You want to know like a little peek behind the scenes at the Roof Resource. We got it right now. It's also shout out Saturday. Again, 248-539-9797. Josh Young, Voltron Power, one of the best electricians in Metro Detroit's listening. Double high fives to you, my friend. So Audrey, contractors, let's give some advice to a contractor out there, whether it's a roofer or not. If they have a company, what is the first thing you think they should do if they want to grow their business? Is it social media? Is it audio, video? What would you give them if they said, hey, I need advice? What would you do?
Well, it just really depends on what it is that they need to accomplish. Like if they need new clients or if they need awareness, social media is great for, getting your message out there. It's
brand lifting.
Yes. It's almost as important as your website in most cases because people will go to your website and then they'll check out your social media page to see what you're saying, what people are saying about you and see if you're posting anything at all.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's the important. So what happens when you meet with a contractor and you look at their social media before you meet with them and they haven't updated a Facebook post in like 7-8 months?
Yeah, I usually just ask them why. Back when I, worked on the agency side, it's like, okay, so why is this a blank space?
Well, my kid in the summertime was doing it. He went back to school. And now he's not doing it.
I've heard that a lot.
Well, it's because contractors are good at contracting. The marketing and the management of that side is not their expertise most of the time.
Right. And oftentimes they don't have someone in-house to do that for them. But there are so many people out there that are freelance/gig workers that you can employ for not a lot of.
Well, that's the new economy, gig economy, which is good. So back to the Roof Resource. It's a roof at cost.
Yes.
How do you message that to the consumer?
It's been interesting because a lot of consumers don't really know what at cost means. And so we've been trying to pivot to explain what retail is. So retail is you're paying a salesperson commission, you're paying the business's overhead, you're paying their marketing expenses, which can be pretty high in the home improvement industry, depending on what vertical it is. Like roofing vertical, some of the top companies spend millions of dollars a year
on marketing.
So those costs are absorbed into the cost, like the price that the consumer is paying for their roof.
Right. The consumer's paying more for that marketing.
Yes. And then there's retail overhead, like their profits. They have a high profit margin.
Burden. Yeah. Well, they have to pay for the sales commission.
Yes.
Well, here's the
vehicles, buildings.
I'll give you an example. I have a great example. And Audrey, you can walk through this with me. Okay. You have regular XYZ roofing, and then you got the Roof Resource.
Yes.
So XYZ roofing walks up to a house with 30 squares. Okay. And they're, let's just say, an Owens Corning platinum contractor, GAF Master Elite, one of those. And they use an eagle view or a satellite photo, and they know it's 30 squares. They send a salesman out there, right? And he's there, knocks on your door, you have an appointment, and he comes in and presents to you the shingle and all that. I'm going to continue this story because we're going to take a break. But when we continue it, I'm going to give you the difference between a roof at cost and the traditional roofing model, and we're going to analyze the marketing of each one with Audrey Isro, Vice President of Marketing at the Roof Resource. Keep it locked in here, my friends. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. We have Audrey Israel, Vice President of Marketing for the Roof Resource, and we're talking about the difference, the old style and the new style, and marketing for contractors. If you're a contractor, you need marketing help. You can always go to hireitdone.com. We give out free advice all the time. 248-539-9797. Don't forget it's Shout Out Saturday. If you're a home improvement contractor and you're listening, want to thank you for listening. We'll give you the shout out. Here. Shout out to Spencer Roofing Company. If you are local to the Walled Lake area, give us a ring. Spencer, how long have you guys been in business? And if you heard of the Roof Resource, I'm curious. Also, easiest home improvement project I ever experienced when I had a Roof Resource replace was replacing my roof. PPG Dave. Oh, Dave, PPG.
Oh, right.
You know, Dave, you should call us. We need some paint stuff. I better get a hold of you, Dave. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. PPG Paints, one of our Hire It Done friends, sponsors. If you're on your way to Cedar Point and you're listening, shout out to Liam. High fives in the car. Gavin and Madeline, you guys will have a good time. Make sure you tell your dad to buy you everything you want. Just tell him to get that. And that's the way it should be, right? Dad, I want this and I want that. Absolutely. Spend all the money that your dad brought. Just so you know. I'm giving you permission. Okay. Shout out to Gravelin's Drive-In at 13 Northwestern. So I remember that place as a kid. They had the best burgers. It was like on the corner. It was an old drive-up like shack. It was white. That's all I remember. Anyways, thanks for that, Mr. Whoever. So Audrey, here we are. Audrey's from the Roof Resource. She's the marketing director, and we have a scenario. Homeowner sees a TV commercial and sees it all the time, right? Every time you go to a break, there's a lawyers.
Yeah, lawyers.
1-855-Mike, Feiger, Bernstein's, right? And then next commercial is Ford, right?
Right.
F-150 or something like that. And then after that is Home Improvement. Mr. Roof, Victor's, Tittle Brothers, right? You see all these roofs, Hanson's, they're on there. And by the way, all of them, good companies. Now, that marketing on TV, Audrey, what do you think? Expensive?
It is expensive, and it can be, you can have a lot of waste, because if you're a traditional roofing company, you know, they're all competing against each other with kind of the same message. You know, they all do an amazing job. They've been in business for years, but they're all very expensive because they have to account for those costs.
Well, yeah. So here's how that cost goes through, right?
It gets passed on to the homeowner.
Right. So then the guy comes to your house. You got 30 squares. Okay. He comes in, starts to talk to you about the roofing business, tells you that here's what your house looks like, and then says, this is the shingle you need, and this is what it costs. And I'm simplifying it for all the listeners, just so we're on the same page. Now, when you invite a roofing company to your house, they are there to sell you a roof. Now, they get on the roof, maybe not. But they have a satellite photo. That's the new technology that all roofers use. And they tell you have 30 squares. And they only sell one brand 99% of the time.
Right.
Or they represent one. You can tell them, I don't want that, I want this. And you buy from them, they'll figure out a way to give it to you. However, they're going to give you their brand. Now, you know, Audrey, what I always say. The best shingle is the one
installed properly.
Thank you. And isn't that true?
Yes, it is true.
Right. So let's just follow that lead. So with that being said, they come in and you have 30 squares. Now, national average, right? National average is on the Harvard website, cost versus value report. Costversusvalue.com is the website. And in Metro Detroit, the average average sale price of a 30 square roof is $30,000 to about $38,000. It's a lot of money for a new roof. Now, roofers go less than that, but if you look at the traditional model, let's just say the roofer gives you a price for $30,000. Okay, and that's the price today. I know that there are companies that are cheaper, absolutely, but we're using the retail price of $30,000. So he comes to your house at 6:00. And by 6:45, he's at 30,000. And you're like paralyzed, jaws on the floor. And he's like, well, what's the problem? And then you're like, well, I can't afford that. And you're like, okay, well, let's talk about this. Maybe I can get you a better deal if you're serious. So like now it's 6:45, now it's 7:15, and they're like, instead of 30,000, it's 24.9, and you're like, I can't afford that. And so they're like, well, what can you pay? And you're like, I don't know, 19,000. Okay, we'll sell it to you for 19,000. Now think about that, everyone out there. You can have two ways to look at that. Yay, I negotiated a great deal. Look at me, I got a $19,000 roof that you really should have been 30. Or you can say, wait a minute, he started at 30, ended at 19.9. What if I would have said yes at 30? Right. All that extra money, is he cutting corners? What's going on? Is there full transparency?
There's usually not. It's just like many things in life that we buy. You don't really know what the number should be or what the actual costs associated with your projects are unless you're getting an itemized invoice. And even when some of these companies are advertising, 50% off installation, 50% off labor. Well, what was that cost, or what should that cost be? What's the average price for labor? Maybe you should look that up before you hire this person, because that could be a little bit of a hide the numbers game.
Well, that's the thing. It's fuzzy math. That's what we call it, fuzzy math. So, but again, homeowners don't know any better. And I will say this, in-home sales, in home improvement still rules the roost. Okay. However, home improvement is one of the slowest industries to evolve. Roofing is the most archaic of all of them. Technology is coming this way, and there are leaders in the industry, obviously, but homeowners don't want people coming in their house anymore. They just feel like uncomfortable. During COVID, you couldn't even get into a house, right?
Right.
Today, people want to buy home improvement from an app. They want to get it on their phone and call it a day. That's a situation where it's important that if you don't want someone coming to your house and you want the best deal, company like the Roof Resource is leading the way. So how does the Roof Resource do it different than the traditional model where people come to your house?
Right. Well, we still do the same technology to measure the roof, via satellites, but our sales process is entirely different. We get your address, we do the virtual imaging of your roof, we know how many squares we're dealing with and if there's skylights, and we do a virtual proposal review. So it's as easy as a Zoom meeting, Google Meet.
Yes.
And very simple. There's not someone in your house for 1, 2, 3 hours playing numbers games and crossing things off. It's just, here's your price. I always talk about sales event messaging. We don't have that luxury because we are the same price every single day of the year. So it's not a roofing sale in the spring, summer, fall. It's always the same price. Homeowners are always paying costs.
Well, do you remember Art Van?
Exactly. I know. That's what I always think of. I would laugh.
Here's
always
the
the biggest sale of the year.
If I didn't need a mattress, I wouldn't even think about it. The minute I think mattress and then all of a sudden TV, Art Van, no payments till $19,999. President's Day sale, Abraham Lincoln sale, Adam Helfman sale, Hire It Done sale, whatever it was a sale every week.
Yeah.
And by the way, that style of marketing works, especially in home improvement. So with the Roof Resource, and this is why I asked you that, because it's not. Here's the deal. You want a roof that doesn't leak, 50 years on the warranty, and no one comes to your house to beat you up.
Right. And you don't have to worry about if you're getting the best price because we show you every single thing.
Well, that's full transparency. That's what I wanted to get to. Homeowners get to see what the shingles cost. And by the way, you could see the shingle cost and go to the shingle place and never get the same price. I guarantee you. They just won't sell it to you that cheap. But that's how it works with the Roof Resource. And then the installers, licensed, insured, vetted installers that are vetted by Hire It Done, by the way.
Yes. Which
always helps. Homeowners want to feel safe, right?
Right.
They don't want to get ripped off. So they want to feel like, okay, I'm getting a deal, plus I'm getting, the right guys. That's where Hire It Done comes in, and we ensure that as a homeowner for the Roof Resource, they get the best roofers. So one of the things that we talk about is with that. We're going to take a quick break. If you have a question, 248-539-9797. If you're a contractor looking to get into the Roof Resource as far as a franchise, we're going to talk about that when we come back. My name's Adam Helfman. Keep it locked in. 2 minutes. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. We're having a great Saturday. You know what? Every Saturday is a great Saturday. Just how it is. Don't forget, 248-539-9797. You got a question for us. We'd love to help you out. How about a shout out to Hoopa, the Greek Boy restaurant next to Ace Hardware on Orchard Lake? Oh, yeah. I like that place. You know, I go to the Gordon Foods over there. They had the foot-long hot dog buns. I couldn't find them. They got them over there. Anyways, 248-539-9797. You got a question this morning, one that's home improvement related. Give me a shot. And, of course, it's Shout-Out Saturday. We want to give you all shout-outs who's listening. We have Audrey Israel, Vice President of Marketing for the Roof Resource, and we were talking about, marketing for contractors and then how the Roof Resource goes to market. We mentioned Art Van, every weekend of the sale. So that's the difference. With the Roof Resource, there's no commission on a salesperson because there's no salesperson coming to your house.
No.
The best part about it, and this is what I think, when you go to theroofresource.com and you fill out the form and then they contact you, you get a proposal in 48 hours or less, an hour.
If it's on a Saturday, you'll probably not get the proposal until the following Monday, especially if it's, one of our corporate territories. But the franchisee might kick it out for you if they're available. So it's generally the next business day is what we say.
So you get your price, you call Monday and you get a price on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. And so the best part about it is it's a Zoom call, right?
Yes.
You do it over the computer. Mm-hmm. You meet the guy or the person from the Roof Resource, and right into the beginning of the conversation, here you go, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner. Let's get right to the price.
Yes.
Boom.
That's the first thing they see is how much it's going to cost and what the estimated retail would be based on that cost versus values that you mentioned. Yep.
And so that's right away. Now, at that point, homeowner has questions, obviously, but then they go through the proposal online with everyone, and they explain to the homeowner, here's what we're doing, here's how we do it, here's how we do a full system. And we'll explain what a full system is in a minute, but what we don't say is what shingle. And the reason why is because we do every shingle. Right. We're agnostic. If you want Owens Corning, you got it. You want Atlas? Done. Owens Corning, GAF, Tamco, IKO, Atlas, Malarkey. The list goes on.
Right.
So that allows the homeowner to say, you know what, I'm an Owens Corning fan or I'm a GAF fan, right?
Right.
And then they're like, well, I want absolute black. I want the blackest shingle, right? You go with Owens Corning. Or whatever brand you think is. So homeowners get their choice.
Yes.
And there's, and there is a price difference on all of them. However, the best part about it is when the Roof Resource price it, they price the shingle at the top. So you could probably go backwards in price, like it'll go lower. Mm-hmm. So Audrey, how do we message to the homeowner that it's a system?
Oh, well, we just explained that it's a full roofing system. So they're not getting any generic products. They are getting the brand name so that their warranty is valid.
Okay, so so and for everyone else, let me expand on that. A full system is when you hear contractors say, "Oh, it's 50 years on the shingle." The way you get the lifetime shingle is if you use parts of more manufactured components than just the shingle, the underlayment, the starter, the ridge, the cap. There's a lot of parts, and you need at least 3 out of the 5 to maintain the big warranty. And this is the fallacy that happens in the roofing industry. They'll be like, all right, Mrs. Jones, I'm going to give you Duration Pro, lifetime warranty on the shingle, but they're going to use inferior underlayment, inferior ice and water. All of that is going to reduce the warranty. You don't know that as a homeowner because what happens is if you, let's say, all right, I got a lifetime shingle and it's leaking after 3 years. You call up the manufacturer, they come out. They do that. They'll come out and they'll look. The first thing they do is lift up your shingles.
Right.
You don't have Owens Corning deck armor. You don't have, the ridge vent. You don't have a starter.
Right.
All you have is the shingle. In that case, you only get this much warranty, and it's different. And what's the homeowner going to do 3 to 5 years later? Call up the roofing company. You told me, right?
Right. And depending on where you're at,
if they're still in business,
they might not be in business anymore. Correct.
Well, that's the thing. There's always that risk. So the whole component thing is important. It needs to be explained to the homeowner because what happens is not all contractors lie, but what they'll say is, yeah, Mrs. Jones, I give you everything. It's the full system. Really? The homeowners know. No, they don't.
Well, because most people have never bought a roof before. It's not something you do.
So once in a life, you buy a roof, it's once, right? especially now with the roof resource, it's 50 years.
Exactly.
So, and by the way, if you have a roof leak, statistically, roof leaks happen in the first 18 months. And typically they happen around chimneys
Right.
or skylights. That's really the truth. So it's important that you understand that, right? That's why homeowners need to be educated more. That's where I come in. That's where you come in the messaging.
Right.
So where do you see the industry going for home improvement and marketing and roofing?
Well, we are, with the Roof Resource, we are trying to expand our franchise across the country. So right now, the entire Detroit metro area is serviced, and a little bit beyond. We can basically service all of southeastern Michigan. So as we get a little bit more market share, I think some of our competitors are going to need to pivot a little bit, because you can't justify those high prices for the exact same quality and the same product and an easier sales process.
Well, there you go. There you go. So what about the feedback from other roofers? What are you hearing them say? How do we make money? What are you hearing?
Yeah, we hear how do we make money off of our process, and oftentimes they think it sounds like a scam because
can't be real.
Right, this can't be real. And then anytime I meet with any potential franchisees, or if I meet with a new vendor who is going to help us with our marketing, I have to explain the process, and then they get it. It's like, okay, well, we're trying to make the homeowner win, as well as not be predatory.
Well, here's the best part. The homeowner gets a seat at the table.
Right.
Okay. A lot of times they don't. Now they get to see full transparency. And people are like, this is crazy. You'll never be around. And here's the thing. If you go to WIMSAT, which is the local distributor for SRS, which is now owned by Home Depot, you go to any one of them and you ask about us, they'll tell you we're the real deal. There was doubters. Even I initially was like, I needed more information.
Right.
And there still is, but it's proven. It's working. How many what states are you in now?
So all of southeastern Michigan. So we have multiple franchise owners
in Southeast Michigan.
In
okay.
Southeast Michigan. Denver, Colorado. The entire Austin, Texas DMA is open and operating as of last month. And we are rolling out the state of Florida.
The whole state.
The whole state.
Wow. Okay, so let's pivot for a second.
Mm-hmm.
You own a house.
I do.
I own a house. I have homeowners insurance.
Yes.
I have yet to get this, but I'm going to get it. I know it, because my roof in my house is 30 plus years old. Mm-hmm. And knock on wood, it doesn't leak yet. I already know I'm going to need a new roof within a year. Right. But here's what we've been hearing, Audrey. Tell me if this is right. We've been hearing that insurance companies are sending letters to homeowners saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner, your house has an older roof.
Right.
We're not going to insure you if you don't replace it in the next X amount of months. You've heard that, right?
I have heard that.
So that's happening here in Michigan. So you want to get new homeowners insurance and you need a roof? Why wouldn't you come to the Roof Resource, especially at cost?
Right.
And there's programs out there. I mean, I already know that. Look at Florida. Florida's a hurricane.
Oh, it's a mess.
Yeah. Insurance companies, Progressive just dropped 100,000 people. There's big companies, insurance companies that are leaving Florida because they're getting their behinds handed to them on roofing replacements.
Right. Too many tropical storms, hurricanes.
And listen, I want to be in business. And if I'm in business, I want to be in business for a profit. Mm-hmm. I'm not doing this for practice. Okay? I need to pay bills. I got college bills. I got mortgages. I got a big food budget. Okay? Nothing's easy. You have to grind it out today. But there's also a way to do that and give the same quality. Before, when I was raised in the business, and by the way, I've been in home improvement 3 decades, over 3 decades. When I was raised in the home improvement business, it was about quality, value, and you can't have cheap and high quality. Today, we broke the model. Mike Harvey, the founder, he actually disrupted the industry and broke the model. Because here's how they do it. They give you a roof at cost, and they make money.
Right.
I think there's nothing wrong with that. Audrey, it's the end of the show.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for coming on.
Yes, of course.
For more information, go to hireitdone.com. My name's Adam Helfman. It's an awesome weekend. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay warm. I'll see y'all next week.